Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Because now I'm not I no, if he is there,
We have any student download the application when they commission from Malik said that apply dot online data. It was the
My voice is not audible. Ma'am, voice is not audible, ma'am.
madam.
Ma'am, ಅದು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಐತ್ರಿ. ತರ್ತಾರ್ರಿ.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll start now.
Ma'am, face is not visible. Okay.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ನಾನು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ
Ma'am, you can start the class, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us start today. So students, I think we met after a long time, and last class what I was doing was, I think, with the same batch. So we were doing on generative AI. So today I just have found one very nice case study, and this case study is all about how AI is used in a very unique way. You will also be very shocked, and this will be also a kind of a very different kind of information, that how AI, and maybe some most of you will think about it, that uh, that this is a very unique way in which the AI is being used. So I thought it is something very interesting which I want to share it with you. So I'm just going to take you to a site which is basically into uh, they are basically into creating software, and they are expertised in AI. So the name of the company is called SAS, and I'm going to just show you the kind of thing what they have done for a particular company. So, I hope you all can see now. Okay. So you can see here that how, so there is an NGO which is basically looking after the endangered species. And this NGO works for protecting the endangered species. They take up the project in collaboration with the government and try to involve companies, involve the people for funding, for crowdsourcing, for crowdfunding, and they go ahead and they try to do certain things about protecting this endangered species. So this is a case study of last year where they had certain issues. So before I go ahead that what was the solution and how AI has helped, let us first understand the problem of the case. So whenever we do a case study, what do we do? First, we try to identify the problem, and then we try to find out the solution and try to find out the related technology which can help. So let us look into the problem first. So when we look into the problem statement is, this is a question which this particular company had, which says, can artificial intelligence help protecting these animals from extinction? How? First, is it yes or no? If it is yes, how they can help in protecting this animal from extinction? And this is a particular uh, park, or you can say a kind of a forest in South Africa. And this is one of the largest wildlife sanctuary. And it has basically all kinds of species of animals which are basically present there. And there are certain endangered species. So it is very difficult for the people to go into this vast forest area and track the endangered species. So what normally they do is they basically have cameras, they have forest officers, they have authorities. Apart from that, they also have local people. These localites are especially like a tribal people. They are called indigenous, expert. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to find a solution to protect these animals from extinction. Extinction can be mostly from poaching. How do you stop poaching and what do you do? So before we go ahead with the discussing that how they have found out a solution using the AI to protect and get information so that they can save these people from poaching, from dying, and from many other things, right? So let us see this video first. So are you able to hear the voice? Anybody who can tell me?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I like to teach them. There are not many left.
Just look at the video. It's a very interesting case because see, students, whenever you go for any kind of an interview, if you can give answer with some example or with some cases, obviously there is always a plus point for that. So always try to connect theory with application or with example.
100 years ago, we had somewhere in the region of
These two people are from the NGO, which is called Wild Track, and they collaborated with a company to find a solution. They were working for saving this endangered species all around the world. So they came to South Africa to find a solution that how they can save cheetah. Especially this project was on saving cheetah.
of 100,000 cheetahs in the world. Today, the number stands at just 7,100. And these are flagship species. As they disappear, they represent the disappearance of a huge chunk of the biodiversity that goes with them.
Biodiversity is what supports all the things that we need as humans, and yet it's disappearing much faster than any of us realise. One way that we've started approaching monitoring of endangered species is to look at their footprints. Yeah, look, I think we've got something here. That's cheetah, definitely. We've learned from working with indigenous trackers over many years in Africa.
These people are the tribal people who are the people who are living around these forests or living within this forest. They are allowed to
Ma'am, voice is too low, ma'am.
and they are called indigenous trackers. Now, what this indigenous transfer work is, because they have grown in that area. So they are
Madam,
the people. They have not studied about these animals. They have not studied or done any PhDs or any post graduation. They are the people who are totally illiterate, but their expertise lie in the area where
madam,
how to track these animals. So these people have so much of knowledge about this particular forest area, that how many people, how many species of animals are there, how to recognize the animals or the type of the animal from the footprint, especially. So when you see a footprint, then how do you find out that whose animal footprint is this? Not only the footprint, they can also understand that whether it is a male or a female footprint. And the second very important part is, you're not able to hear me?
madam, voice is not audible, ma'am.
Voice is not audible. Just a minute, give me some time. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's too low, ma'am.
Hello, can you hear me?
No, ma'am.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, audible, but its voice is too low, ma'am.
Just give me a few seconds. I'll just call some technical check this. Give me a few seconds, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
you hear me now? Hello. Anybody tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we were here. I'll play the video. This video basically will show you that how, indigenous trackers, their expertise, knowledge. Because see, we have learned, and you people also know now that every, uh, you know, AI system is built on a knowledge base, and it is basically the soul of the AI system is all data. So how do we train AI to do certain things? Now, training is provided with certain kind of expertise knowledge, and this expertise knowledge can be built through these indigenous trackers. So, who are these indigenous trackers? They are the people who live in that area, who can look into the footprint and tell not only the species but also the gender of the animal. They also can tell whether how many of them are there and the population. So much of information they can derive only by looking at the footprint. So we'll just look into the video again.
That we can use footprints to identify species, age class, individuals, and sex. Do you have any thoughts about whether it's male or female? What do you think?
It's not so big.
Right.
It means that it's a female.
Right.
So it's interesting that our algorithm is picking up some of the things that you're doing in your mind, right?
We came up with a mathematical model, and this is where SAS comes in, starting with importing images, and then we use those to derive the metrics, which then allows us to do the analysis.
So you can see that what they did, they basically took the knowledge of these indigenous tracker and coded into the algorithm, and they took the pictures as a training data. So what they did, they took thousands and thousands of the pictures of these footprint of cheetah, and they have encoded and aligned, trained the AI model with the images as well as the expertise knowledge of these basically the indigenous tracker. So what indigenous tracker could do by looking at the pictures, now the AIs are also trained like an indigenous tracker to look at those varieties of pictures which they are getting and identify or interpret whether it is a footprint of a cheetah, male or female, the age, and how many of them are there. The same way how the indigenous tracker will do. They could do that. So they started picking up and taking a lot of pictures.
We're depending on data and analytics to protect these animals, and now we're beginning crowdsourcing from around the world. So ordinary people.
So one of the way was collecting the data from the area which is available to them, which was South African, this particular wildlife sanctuary. But apart from that, they wanted more and more data. Till now, students, you have understood that the more data we provide, the variety of data we provide to the AI system, better is the result. Better is the accuracy. So they wanted the accuracy. So for that, what they did, they started their own initiative online. And this NGO tried to collaborate and try to crowdsource the images from different other part of the world where cheetahs are found, the forest areas. So the wildlife trackers, the wildlife people who go into these things, they took the pictures and they put on and they sent those pictures. So crowdsourcing of the pictures started happening.
Who wouldn't necessarily be able to dart a rhino, but they can take an image of a footprint. We've got data coming in from everywhere, too many data for us to manage traditionally, and that's really where artificial intelligence comes in.
The big question is, can artificial intelligence do what indigenous trackers can do?
So this is a very important thing what he said. He said that just like they wanted to build an AI and train the AI with the image to do something what indigenous trackers can. So indigenous tracker can look at certain things and can predict accurately about something. They want to model AI on that. So can they do that?
When we see an indigenous tracker look at a footprint, we realize there's a huge gulf between that and what machine intelligence is currently able to do. It's just millions of years of evolution that have allowed us to be able to identify these patterns. And it's a big challenge in image processing.
So now one of the domain of the AI is computer vision and image processing and building the computer vision. So they had this challenge that where they collected these photos, they crowdsourced the photo from different part of the world, and now they have to feed that and train to AI model. So they wanted to build the same kind of expertise using AI model what engineers trackers have.
Identifying footprints was a very tedious process to be able to sort and classify them. So to be able to take that one task that's a repetitive task and automate it seemed like a natural fit for an AI solution. And it required a lot of expertise and insight from Zoe and Sky to help us train the computer to categorize the footprints the same way a human tracker would.
So essentially what the heat map is attempting to do is to pick up those edges.
This heat map is kind of visualizing what our deep learning model is looking at and just thinking that part of images is important to distinguish it's a cheetah print or a tiger print.
The red section.
So if you see that this is the picture, original picture which they have taken. With this picture of the footprint of the cheetah, they use the deep learning technology of AI to create a heat map. And with this heat map, they can, because the cheetah and tiger footprint are exactly similar. It will have a similar pattern. So how do you, so they use neural network to create a heat map, and this heat map is going to actually distinguish between whether it is a cheetah or a tiger footprint.
Section is a bit that's actually standing out as representing the footprint.
Yeah, like because we are predicting the footprint. So we overlay this.
Getting 100% accuracy in this project is very challenging, but we'll get there. For this one, we need more data, and we need more scientists to contribute to this project so that we can really.
Okay, sorry.
Distinguish it's a cheetah print or a tiger print.
The red section is a bit that's actually standing out as representing the footprint.
Yeah, like because we are predicting the footprint. So we overlay this.
Getting 100% accuracy in this project is very challenging, but we'll get there. For this one, we need more data, and we need more scientists to contribute to this project so that we can really solve this problem.
I'm excited about the potential of artificial intelligence because I think that one of the hugest challenges we face is how to protect our planet, our ecosystem. And the way that we can solve it is by bringing in data from all parts of the world in a hugely magnified scale, much, much more than we have at the present. These data have incredible value in conservation. If we don't know where the animals are and how many there are, we can't begin to do things like working out where animals should be protected, looking at animal-human conflict. These are all global conservation questions that conservation biologists all over the world need answers to.
I think we exist in a world today trying to use artificial intelligence. And our challenge is how to harness this in order to answer some of the most fundamental questions and create an environment where there's room for us and all the rest of the species in this world.
So, student, this is the company which is a very big AI company, and this company has developed this solution, for them, for the NGO. So now, this is certain more facts, some more fact which is there in the case study. If you can see that, if you study the behavior, we can help to protect them and sustain biodiversity. These are all are there. So they track, tell a collective story you can find. So normally, from the footprint, they not only find out whether it is a cheetah or a tiger print, but they can also find out where they are going, how many are left, and there is much to be learned from monitoring the footprint of indigenous species like the cheetah. So this is the data which they have collected. Artificial intelligence have helped them in recreating the skills or the expertise, imitating the expertise of the indigenous tracker. And the wild track researcher, the company, basically explored that how AI can be used for conserving. Now, there will be a question in your mind that, okay, we can find out about how many are left and whether they are male or female and where they are, you can locate them. Then how does it help them in protecting? See, AI solution is giving you information and it is telling you that these many are left. Apart from that, also you get a location. So you can just go ahead you can find out that which are the areas in which the cheetah basically are going more often, and where they can be found. So you can put certain kinds of equipments like camera, drones, and try to monitor them so that nobody can poach them and kill them. And if they're sick or they're injured, they can be, saved. So these particular data are done. So if you can read over here, it says AI solutions are designed to enhance human effort, which is indigenous trackers, to replace them. They have used the deep learning domain of AI, and they have collected enough image data which has trained to perform human-like tasks, like identifying footprint images, recognize the pattern in the similar way the indigenous tracker will do. Okay, so this is on the larger scale. They have done all these kinds of stuffs. And if you can see, so this particular project they called ASPIT, which is Wild Track Footprint Identification Technology, which is a tool for non-invasive monitoring of the endangered species through the digital image of the footprint. So from the digital image of the footprint, they can locate where cheetah are, where are the places where they're going, and they can take a measure to protect them. Okay. And they developed a kind of a mathematical model which can identify, give them information about their species, about their individual sex, age, class, everything. Okay. So this is how. So these are certain facts. If you can see that. So if you can see, there are certain facts which they have also released on their site, like there is a 93% of decline from the past century in the population of cheetah. So cheetah are no longer found in 76% of their former. Even in India also it is declining because of the poaching, because of many things. So see, also there is a fact that cheetah rarely prey on domestic animals. They are not the animal which will kill the domestic animal. So there is no, sometimes the forest, the agricultural land which is near the forest, basically when they spot cheetah, they will kill. Most of the time you might have heard, I have seen in the news recently in the WhatsApp also, that recently there was a cheetah, which was a leopard, which was spotted in the Bangalore roads and all these kinds of things. So what happens, the first thing is that you try to kill because you have a fear of your life, a fear of the domestic animals and all. So this is one thing. So that's a reason why, and then you have a smuggling. So that is the reason 1 in 6 survive. 1 out of 6 cheetah can survive. So crowdsourcing of the data is a very important step, which will help you in developing a perfect solution, AI solution. So this is what they have done. I will just show you a glimpse of this case, and I'll put this case study link in your chat box to make sure that you go through this and you read, because I may not be able to, broadly or extensively explain you, though I tried my best to tell you that what are the things which you can study. And believe me, when you go for an interview and you go to the interview and you basically talked about all these kinds of cases and you give examples, there is a huge impact on your interview results. I'll just show you something more which is interesting. Okay. So what is possible with AI? So this particular company has also put a lot of other cases also, which they have, where they have used artificial intelligence. So you can go to the site and you can check. So AI solutions like augmenting human creativity, because we always say technology is something which cannot replace the human creativity, which is a wrong perception. So why choose SAS? SAS is a company which I told you, which worked with Wildlife Track to develop the AI solution for protecting this endangered species. So you can see here from machine learning to computer vision to NLP, for forecasting, for optimization, all these can be done through this. So there are a lot of examples which are here, a lot of company examples in which where they have delivered the AI solution. So like for example, Royal Bank of Scotland, you can just go through this particular case and you can find how they have used, how Georgia Pacific has used AI to calculate the production. Here NLP was used to basically give a customer service. Computer vision, which was used by this company. Then Honda has used the visual forecasting, basically use the AI to do the forecasting. So all company examples are given here and full-fledged examples. So students, it is necessary that along with the technology, what you're learning Python, you're learning R, whatever you're learning, you have to know how to apply. And for that, these case studies help you in application part. Okay. Then there is also a very important case study like can AI help in saving the planet. Okay. So how do you do that? So you have so many things. So you can please go through this. Okay. And read, find out that how you can connect, how you can find out a solution which is unique, and you can do something like that. Then you have this industry application. So you can go to the banking, public sector, healthcare. For example, if you go to healthcare, it will show you the AI solution or cases in healthcare industry. You can see here, for example, let's say in healthcare, I'll give you that. Okay, so fine, I don't remember the user ID. So this is a challenge. These are AI solution for healthcare. Everything. You have videos also. You can see this.
Towards the end of the pregnancy, we were getting...
Okay, so I'll just take it here.
Kumpadan, senior staff scientist in our computer vision team.
I was a very...
Please meet Fijoy Vadakumpadan, senior staff scientist in our computer vision team.
I was a very curious kid growing up, often tinkering with the various electronic and mechanical devices at my parents' house. When I came across computers in my late teens, that opened up an entirely new world of things that I could build and fix, these new things being computer programs. And I haven't stopped coding ever since. A personal experience that I had a few years ago changed the way I view my work. In 2015, my wife and I were pregnant with identical twin girls. Towards the end of the pregnancy, we were getting a detailed ultrasound imaging exam almost twice a week. Because of all these exams, we discovered early on that one of the girls was not growing as fast as she should have. So we decided to move forward with a planned C-section instead of waiting for natural delivery, which would have been unsafe at that point. The C-section went well, and we now have 2 healthy and happy girls at home. If it weren't for medical image analytics, the outcome could have been very different, and I'm very deeply touched by that experience. The realization that I can, or my work can help make a similar impact on someone else's life is very gratifying. There's no doubt that medical imaging has revolutionized medicine, but at the same time, this revolution has brought new challenges to the clinic. A radiologist typically has to look at thousands of images per day, and this is where my team at SAS has stepped in to help. We have extended the SAS platform to process medical images. SAS platform now provides an environment where users can build applications that convert medical image data to insights that can drive decision making. My hope is that this work can help improve the lives of radiologists and associated healthcare professionals. It may even help save a life one day.
Morning, Oliver. Fijoy, your team has been working on...
Okay, so I will stop it here. I want you all to look into these cases. I have just shared the site, and this is a very big company. Most of the employees over here, fascinating things, are Indian, and this company is doing really great in terms of everything using AI and all everything. So go through this, and then you can just find out that whether you can gain some knowledge and it can help you in your own career and professional development. Okay. So let us now, so I've shared one very beautiful case study with you. Let us now go ahead and try to find out about the generative AI. because I was talking about generative AI. But before that, also, I would like to talk. I will just today's session will be on generative AI. Last class, if you remember, if I revise, generative AI models we have discussed, which is LLM model, large language modeling, and we can have three, four types of generative AI, which is text to text generation, text to image generation. I have shown you some demo of that, text to video generation. All these kinds of things we have already seen. So now let us look into some examples and let us look into some of the applications of that. Not example by exactly, but application. So I'm going to talk about today I have taken the marketing as an area. And we through this particular session today, you will understand that how companies are using generative AI for marketing purpose. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. If I just give you a few seconds. Just give me a few seconds. I'm just trying to. Okay, fine. Okay, let's start now. So the topic today is about how generative AI is revolutionizing the digital market. Digital marketing has changed the concept over the traditional marketing arena. I don't want to, waste much of time on what's the difference between traditional marketing and digital marketing. You all know about digital marketing. How do we use SEO, search engine optimization? how do we social media marketing, how do we do search engine marketing. So all these are the things which we basically do to make to reach over a wider audience and to have a personalized ad. Today it is necessary that the people who need a particular product or services, they are the people who should be chosen to show that ad. One size fit for all is a strategy which was used basically for in a traditional marketing, like in a television ad or in a print ad or maybe in a radio ad. You might see that you get ads which are visible or which are audible to everybody. So they don't have a kind of a personalization. It's like a mass audience. So digital marketing, it is how AI is helping in that. Basically, the generative AI. So we are going to talk and look into some examples. So there is one of the biggest company in AI. Most of you might have heard is the name of the company called Salesforce. So Salesforce is a company which is not only one of the biggest company in CRM, customer relationship management software. They have the biggest price from Google to all the banks in the world and all. But not only they do that, they also are involved in a big research. So this is a research company. So the research in especially in the marketing. So Salesforce recently did a survey of 1,000 marketers, and they try to understand how generative AI can be used by them. And in this survey, they found that 51% of the uh, people know about generative AI among the survey participant. 50% of the participants knew about the generative AI, and 22% of them are using it on a regular basis. Okay, and especially the chat GPT. Then also they found out that 39% of them, of the participants, say that they don't know how to safely use generative AI. They've heard about it, they're using chat GPT, they're using in video, they're using many tools which are there, but they don't know what is the safety and ethical issues involved in that, especially the safety and legal issues. So there is a concern about also about the accuracy of this, whether it is an accurate thing, what you are getting the chat GPT, what it is generating for you, is it accurate or not? Can you use it? Can you publish it? So this was basically, so the marketer, from here they found that the marketer need to be trained. They need to know the potential of generative AI. At the same time they need to know how to safely use and what is the legal issue around that. So marketers are though very excited about generative AI, and they know that how generative AI is transforming their work, how it is basically helping them in the creativity also. But at the same time, 43% of marketers say that they don't know how to get the most value out of this. So when you go to the YouTube today or any of the public domain, you will find that there are a lot of people who are coming out and teaching generative AI. Most of them are teaching how to use chat GPT for your marketing purpose or for education purpose, for learning purpose. So that is the reason why most of the general public have no knowledge that how do you get the maximum value for your technology. So we are doing trial and error method. So 54% of the marketer also believe, from the survey the result came out, 54% of the marketers believe that generative AI training program will be very important in order to train the marketing professional. And 70% of the employer says that they are not able to provide the generative AI training. So the marketer use generative AI for targeting audience. Like for example, that they're doing a lot of things using that. For example, they're using ChatGPT for content creation. 76% of the marketers are using that. Some of them are using to write brochures, flyers, and all these kinds of stuff. 53% of the employee in the marketing department say that generative AI is a game changer, and they are using to transform the way they used to write messages, like whether it can be a WhatsApp messages or any kind of a marketing campaign or a hashtag campaign on the Instagram or a SEO strategies. They are using the generative AI. So generative AI is transforming the way the marketer with doing their job initially. Okay. One of the example I would like to tell you. Let's say that I did this and I just took a copy because I didn't want to show you in person. So because then I have to disturb my slides. So if you see that I have written here, generate a text for advertising a new electric car model. Now in generative AI students, there is a very important part of learning which is called prompt engineering. Prompt engineering, this is a prompt. In this prompt, you are writing the instruction. Now, generative AI is using a large language model to basically, or NLP basically, to generate a unique content for you. But in order to generate a unique and the perfect content, what you want to satisfy you, it has to understand that what you want. And for that, it will not understand on its own. There's no technology which can do that. They can read in your mind. So you have to do prompt very well. That's called prompt engineering. So prompt engineering means that I'll talk about that in the session team. So I have written a very simple instruction and it is giving me that what should be my advertisement. It will not write advertisements slowly. It will do that also for you, but basically it will guide you. So it is basically telling me that what are the points I can include in my advertisement campaign to promote my new electric car, how it can be different from the other car like Tesla and all. So it will say, okay, goodbye to gas station, hello to new era of sustainable driving. So I can also use certain features to highlight in my advertisement, like it is equipped with safety features and all these kinds. So what is happening here is the generative AI is a combination of data analysis, NLP, and machine learning to create a content which will tailor to the need of the target audience. So who's your target audience for this electric car model? The people who are literate, they are in tier 1 city. They are the people who have money because electric cars are not cheap. The people who are willing to spend on the, creating the charging stations, and the people who are ready to spend on it. So these are the target audience which you have to analyze. So you have to analyze the consumer behavior. Whenever we do a marketing or whenever we go for advertisement campaigns, we always try to analyze the consumer behavior. And then we identify a pattern in that. And this consumer behavior you can get from the data, like the data of interaction with the consumers, the sales data, the customer service data, this all data, or maybe the social media data where they talk about the product. It can help you in generating a unique content strategy. And in that content, you can take care of the preference of the customers. You can have a personalized email. You can send a target social media post. So only people who are interested or they are searching about the electric car model, or they are posting certain posts related to electric car model, you can target only those people instead of targeting those people who will not even look at your ad. So in digital media, we say impression, CPI, cost per impression. So that is also one of the term in digital area, like for example, CPP, CPI, all those kinds. So the text generation using the AI can be a powerful tool for marketing campaign. So AI generated text can be used for variety of purpose, like for example, creation of content for your marketing campaign, which can be a email campaign also. When you're sending email about talking about your product, promoting your product, it can be a social media post also. It can be a blog article also. It can be a script writing for your advertisement also. It can be a storytelling for your advertisement goods and services. So also not only this, the generative AI has also helped the companies to generate a new feature on the product and describe it. Sometimes they have a good feature in their product, but they are not able to describe it well. Okay, so this is one example that what you can do. So one more example I want to tell you is the image generation. So how generative AI can be used, the tool can be used to generate image. So there's a generative AI Microsoft tool called DALL-E. DALL-E is very good. I've shown you also in the last session. DALL-E you can use to develop a product imagery. With generative AI, you can develop a highly realistic high resolution image of your product. And you can use it on online store, you can use it to promote on social media, because when you are doing advertisement, you need to know that what kind of picture can you take, right? For example, Apple company, if you see the Apple company, how they take the picture. The apple is white in color. Have you seen in real life the apple white in color? They don't use red color in it. So they use the white silver color, and the apple is half bitten. So how they use that particular shape of the apple they can't change, but they can change certain imageries, characteristics, so that it create more interest in the people. So this can help to showcase the product in a very engaging and visually appealing way, and which will lead to the increase in sales and conversion. So something in the I'll show you here. So if you see in this video that they use AI to generate the images, the visual appeal of the product packaging. So you can see that ultimately they got this as a packaging. Like for example, if you look into the very popular case of Coca-Cola. So how the Coca-Cola water bottle, the image of that was drawn by one artist, by one particular artist on a paper. That the bottle, the packaging bottle will be looking like this. Because the package bottle is a visual appeal to the people, which will be called as visual branding. So generative AI can be used to create a visual branding of your material. Like for example, the logo, it has shown you also the logo, how it will look and how the graphic will look. I was talking about the Apple also. So visual try-on, you can create a visual try-on experience which the Heinz has done, and you can allow the customers to visualize your product. How also the product, suppose if it is a watch or if something like that, how it will look on them, like Lenscard. They use the virtual try room where you can try the you can upload your image and you can try on various frame on yourself and you can see whether it is good for you or not. So they give you that experience because you want to try on, and if it is appealing to you, if it is appealing to the people who are going with you for marketing purpose, then only you will do, because basically it is useful for fashion and beauty brands so that people are attracted to your product. So inside whatever product content, for example, before tasting the content or before tasting the taste of the ketchup, if the packaging doesn't have a visual branding or visual appealing, the logo doesn't have, they won't go for it. Okay, so that's very important. So it's an ad. It also do something called ad creative. So generative AI can be used for creating ads, which are very engaging, visually appealing. And most of the famous brands have done this. They have use the AI for creative ads. Recently, I was going through ITC Sunfeast, biscuits. And they said that it was a very interesting video which came. I'm sorry, I'll not be able to show you that because it has gone now. But that was a forward which came to me from one of my students. And he said that you can use your own image, and in the video, you can upload your image, and ITC gave this one chance free, where you can upload your image and you can be seen, and you can generate a video where you can see that Shah Rukh Khan is in the advertisement with you, and he is doing an ad with you, and this was possible only with AI. So I'm just going to show you one more video. So this is a generative AI for generation of video.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, At least in contemporary terms, it is not. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? What is your perception of reality? Is it the ability to capture, process, and make sense of the information our senses receive? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
So basically, what ad you have seen is not a real person shooting for it. It's an AI generated video. But you have to take permission. I'll come to that. You can't just generate a video advertisement of Shah Rukh Khan acting into it without his permission. Because that's what I said. The knowledge of generating or using the content or generating the content using generative AI is not enough. The knowledge about the legality, the knowledge about how to use that effectively without any legal issues is very, very important. Okay. So now the video generation application which is used, which is developed through the generative AI, like for example, video ad. There are a lot of companies who have created high quality video ad, which can be used on social media platform or video sharing site like YouTube and all. So this company have gained actually the brand awareness. They have increased their brand awareness, and it has led to the conversion for them. They have many companies have used the AI generated video for product demo, demonstration of their product. They have created the videos using generative AI. They have showcased their product using a visually appealing way. So without shooting, without the process of having a particular cameraman and the crew member, the video editor to do that, they've used the AI to do it.
I am not.
Okay. So now when we talk about generative AI, we also have to understand the difference between narrow and general AI. Okay. So artificial intelligence basically says whenever we talk about artificial intelligence, the first thing which comes in our mind is the image of a killer robot trying to take the world over. Right? For example, the famous James Cameron in Terminator 2. But the AI I have today is doing far more than that. So let us look at the AI in 3 different types of intelligence to give you a better idea of each one. So the first we have something called narrow AI. So what is a narrow AI? Narrow AI is when the machine is designed to do one task better than human being ever could do. Right? Which can include digital assistants like Alexa, Siri and all, which can include algorithm fed into the social media and, doing something called sentiment analysis to put your reviews about your product. It can just extract the review or the feedback of the people on certain company and categorize as a positive, negative or neutral review and give a 4-star or 5-star by certain companies like booking.com and all these companies does. So narrow AI need to be trained on lot of data in order to spot a similar pattern and make a statistical prediction. So it can transfer into knowledge into. So when an AI is able to transfer its know-how to something new, similar to what human can do, that is called general intelligence, artificial intelligence. Yeah, I spoke about that in the last session, students, right? You can just post your questions on the chat box if you have anything. If you want to stop me, if you want to ask any. So these are some example of the general AI, narrow AI, if you can see here. So like for example, Google search, virtual assistants, spam filter, drones, self-driving car, content recommendation on the e-commerce sites, facial recognition software on your phones and all these things. So general AI is what we are most familiar with, especially in the fiction books, movies and TV. You may see some kind of a voice which is coming up and like for example, the movie Her and the Star Wars also. the CP3PO from the Star Wars, or RDD2, R2D2, because I've watched the Star Wars a lot, that's why I could relate. So these like lot companies like Microsoft, Google, then OpenAI, I spoke about OpenAI company. They are putting billions of dollars into research to develop the general AI, basically for the benefit of humankind. Basically, and OpenAI is a concept of making AI available for everyone. So these are the examples which I gave you. Now something we are going to talk about, one more kind of a AI which is called super intelligence. Okay, and as the name suggests, it is not very scary. It is something which is referred to as a singularity, because the intelligence of the machine is the collective intelligence of humanity. That means a lot of people expertise in the crowdsourcing help in this. So no one knows if the super intelligence is going to happen. It's not happened yet, but it is. They are aiming to develop certain solutions using super intelligence. So you can see that, for example, if you go for an operation and you have, let's say, one cardiac surgeon who's going to get patient. What if you have two surgeons? What if you have all the expert surgeon, best surgeon available in the city or in a country? You will be more, confident about your survival, of your curing, of your treatment. So the super intelligence talks about that, about surety, about accuracy. But it has to be developed. It is very important that whenever we are developing any kind of a technology, we have to develop the guideline, regulation, and framework should be around that. Okay. So right now, the current focus is getting the framework or the regulation is based on narrow AI, and it has its own limitation, because not we can have this, but there is a lot of work and a lot of things which is already developed in super intelligence. So when we are talking about ads, so when you want to customize your digital ad in real time, so what are you going to look into? You are going to look into, I'm talking about ads here. You will be looking into writing, designing, customizing ad. You will be writing scripts. You'll be taking in consideration customer insight, so that you can get one ad which is perfect for the customer. The customer should look at the ad instead of just scrolling or skipping those ads. So this is where the data analytics and the AI work. So I'm going to talk about now the 4 concept of AI which marketer need to know if they want to use generative AI for marketing. Okay, so let's look at the 4th. 1 minute, just a minute. So what are those 4 concepts which the marketer need to know before they should not have a wider knowledge, but they should know how to work with that. So there are 4 tools of AI or domain of AI which are basically used for advertisement. One is NLP, natural language processing. Second is computer vision. Third is multimodal learning. And the last one, very importantly, is generative AI. So I'm going to start with the generative AI because this is what we are discussing from a last few sessions. So generative AI describe what happens when a machine is able to produce something original based on written request, like prompt I just wrote. Okay, these are the 4 concepts which I spoke about. So generative AI require a prompt instruction, a proper instruction from a user to generate something which is original. And simple way to do is prompt to create, use a correct prompt, smart prompt, and then only it will bring the AI into life. So generative AI uses natural language processing to, in quotation, to understand. In quotation means to understand connection between words and then predict what comes, what should be, what is your idea, what do you want. So in order to provide a human sounding output, whenever I explain this, I always tell the students that look at the example of a small child. When a small child is developing, the skills of or acquiring the speaking skills, they are learning how to speak. they may use different incorrect words or inappropriate words for not inappropriate but not the correct word to point out at something. Right? Like for example, my daughter used to call water quota. But a mother will understand when a child and speaks something and point at certain thing and say something else, the mother will or may not be pointing, but the mother understands that. How do we build a NLP works just like that? So NLP try to extract the meaning of some unsaid word and try to find out the context between the words and connection between the words. Okay. So NLP need to, for that, you need to provide a human in order to come out with a human kind of understanding. The NLP need to be trained on vast amount of data. And as I told you in the last sessions that it is based on large language modeling, LLMs. So LLMs basically read or process data from websites, digital book, social media, and host various kinds, Wikipedia, and many other public source of or open sources which can be used. So when NLP is trained, it is using its knowledge to offer a good guess about what you want to tell. And it gives a response which is most of the time, there will be a kind of a 90 to 100% of accuracy. So in some way, NLP let the machine understand the words. Then the computer vision is all about the way an AI see the world. Again, when we take an example of a human being, when you see somebody, for example, when you see your father, your mother, your sister, from their expression itself, you can make out that what they're thinking. Whether they are sad, you can read their emotion. Without looking at the child, without speaking anything, your mother will know that you may have certain issues or what you are going through. So how can a machine interpret it in the same way how the human vision work? So the computer vision, for example, one more example I'm going to give you. When you see a chair, it does not matter if it has a upholstery made, it is made up of wood, whether it is kept upside down, and when you see a chair of different size, different color, different type of styles and all, you will still tell it is a chair. Maybe you may, if you know the name and all, you can say, okay, it's a wheelchair, it's a this chair, it's that chair, it's a sofa. But looking at a chair of different varieties, you still can categorize it as a chair. But for machine, if they need to be, in order to make the machine understand that all these different shapes and size and different style of the chairs are chairs ultimately, they have to be trained on many different images of chairs of all size, all shapes in order to distinguish between them. Because they don't possess the reasoning abilities, what we have. So this can lead even to do certain mistakes also. So NLP and computer vision operate as initially actually what used to happen recent few years back, NLP and computer vision used to operate as a separate domain of AI. But there is a kind of a breakthrough which has happened, which is come as a form of a multimodal AI or multimodal learning, which let the machine combine, just a minute. Okay, I'm here. So what happens is the multimodal is the combination of several data to produce creative results, which can be a visionary image data from computer vision, which can be a text data from NLP, and it can pave the way for text to image design, and also how to create videos, music, synthetic voice. Just I've given you some examples, 3D scenes and all. So multimodal is a combination of NLP and computer vision. So these are the 4 things which I said the marketers will need. Next very important part is when the marketers are using any of the generative AI tool, like for example, ChatGPT, DALL-E, InVideo, whatever they're using, they have to know certain things that how to use more effectively. So it is very important that AI doesn't have intuitions. They can't read your mind. So you get what you want if you give the detailed instruction to the machine, and machine can understand what you want, which is called prompt engineering, which I was talking to you about. So it become a new marketing skills now. Prompt engineering is a strategic use of language as an input to let AI know that what kind of creative output you want to see. So it will match the input with the output. So in a way, it is lot like coding, except the symbol you are using are words. Okay. As I said, this is what. So this is the prompt engineering thing which I told you. So prompt engineering is about how do you give a proper input or instruction so that it can give you a usable output, right? So as I said, so generative AI can respond to a prompt. So you have to make sure that you are descriptive and using specific details, like, for example, the tone, the format, the kind of audience you want to reach. Suppose if you are doing marketing. So if you want your output to have a bullet points or headers, all these things you have to be very, very specific. So that the AI, so whatever is there in your mind. So what happens in a traditional marketing? Whatever is there in your mind, you write down or put it down on the paper. Then you brainstorm with sort of marketing team and then you come out with an idea. Here you don't require a team. Whatever is there in your mind or whatever is there in the mind of a team can be put in the very descriptive and specific manner in the form of text to the generative AI. And then you will get. So if you want if you need to paint a picture in the word of the image, for example, if you want to come out with a picture which you have in your mind and you have imagined, you will have to use a lot of trial and error method in prompt engineering until till you get a figure or something which is correct. Okay, so you have to use the generative, so you have to, and you end up wasting a lot of time. So this is a very nice book which you can read and there's an article on LinkedIn which you can read. And this article is by David Grayson, and it's on unlocking the secret of artificial intelligence, especially the chat GPT and more. And the article has a very beautiful title called AI Whispers. Okay. So you can, prompt engineering is one of the things which people are now taking a course. So most of the people, when they are, you should not think that I'm a technical person, I should not. You also should take a course so that you understand how do you build up a system to interpret something on the basis of text which is written, which is not very clear. Okay. So now we will also talk about one of the aspect in marketing, which is called writing. Okay. Most of the time when a marketer are reaching a deadline and you have to come out with a script of addressment, you have to come out with but you are blank, right? And you don't know that what you have to do. It is very fast. You have to come out with a thought. The client is coming and you have to tell the client about the marketing campaign you're thinking of. So that is a time which the job can be done with the help of the generative AI. Just enter your prompt and your copy of is ready in a flash. So before you enter your prompt, you will need to know what you want. And then start with your objective with your content time. Suppose if you are making a ad copy, creating an ad copy, okay? So, or a blog post, or maybe Instagram hashtag campaign or a caption. What is the idea for headlines? Whose perspectives are you writing it from? You have to know all these answers. Which platform are you going to use to prompt it? And what tone do you want to convey it? Once you get your all these idea and you know it, you will get your first output. Okay. So this is how the script writing in the ad campaign is written. So you get your first output, which you can review it very closely and you can make sure whether it is accurate or not. So if you are certain that everything which is given is perfect according to what you want, then you can do. Otherwise, you have to go on regenerating the content. So this is the, and then when you get the output, you also have to think about whether the copy of this particular ad is going to inspire a customer to take any action to buy your product and convert them into a prospective buyers. And you also have to measure whether it is meeting the standard of your organization or not. If it is not, you have to go ahead, adjust and refine your prompt to get what you want. Okay. So I'm just going to show you one example here. Okay. So I've taken a case study here. Let's say, Lipsa is a founder of a bakery and her bakery name is called Topsy Turv. So she want to use the visuals, which are very amazing, and she doesn't have a resource to pay it to advertisement company to develop those posters, which she can put it in her restaurant, or which she can put it on the social media post to attract people to get the more order. Okay. So now, Lipsa, and she has come to you and she said that, okay, I want to develop a low cost social post for my campaign. So you and your team will use now generative AI, or maybe Lipsa can use generative AI to come out with a creative caption for the photos or the video on the Instagram. Okay. So first, whatever Lipsa has given you the photos, and she shared that photo with you, which she wanted to put on the Instagram as a campaign, you have to find out whether that similar kind of pictures are existing in same kind of Instagram ads or not. Let's say like Lipsa has a rivalry and she has one more company, one more restaurant in that same lane, which is called Lemon Vanilla Cupcake, or they are famous with Lemon Vanilla Cupcake. She is also famous and she want to promote her Lemon Vanilla Cupcake. And she also is famous for ice sugar cookies. And she want to have a very funny and very a kind of an Instagram post where her target audience is women between 18 to 34, who may most mostly do the purchase for their house. Okay. So how are you going to come up with use the AI for writing a kind of a advertisement campaign, which will use the picture which she has provided and find out whether the picture is good or not. At the same time, the AI also try to identify the copyright issue. If she is taken, for example, somebody else's picture or the copy, maybe most of the time when you go for an advertisement, most of the time you have to make sure that your picture is your advertisement copy is not similar to what advertisement copy other people might have used. Okay. So this is how you can find out in the chat GPT. You can just write, just like how I have written here, describe the rivalry between lemon vanilla cupcake and ice sugar cookies in a light-hearted and funny way for the post that could be used on Instagram and that target women between 18 to 34. So I'm very specific and descriptive. So I've described that I want a kind of a caption for Instagram and also a post which will showcase the rivalry between the lemon vanilla cupcake and ice sugar cookies in a very light-hearted and a funny way. And my target are between 18 to 34. When I write this, I get this. You can see here, this is a photo. This photo is not generated by them. This photo is generated, given by them. So you can see the kind of a caption which has come out. It's a sugar showdown between the zesty lemon vanilla cupcake and the classical iced sugar cookies. Will you go for the tangy twist or the sweetie simplicity? It's a battle of the taste buds, and we want to know which team you are on. So grab a fork and get ready to indulge in the ultimate dessert element. And then the hashtag is coming. So this is a very creative way of writing this. Okay. Now, when you are talking about, so this is about the social media post in a very cheaper way and all. When we are talking about the AI, we also have to talk about certain more things. And just a minute. Okay. So, when I have considered, when you want to write a kind of a transcript, uh, something which we normally say storytelling, or you want to create a logo, slogan, okay? And always in the marketing campaign, you have something called storyboard. You know? So, you want to use a generative AI when you want to generate image from the text, okay? Text to image generation app. And you want a very visually appealing image. So image should be good, and it should be something very unique, something very which will catch the attention of the viewers, and also the quality. And also it should go along with it, should be related to your product and service. Okay. So most of the time in a traditional marketing, what happens, the designer will involve in the process where they have to focus and they have to sit together, brainstorm. They come up with lot of images. They show the client and ultimately finalize one and work on it to modify it. But in case of generative AI, you just have to focus on your prompt and fine tune so that the raw output become a concept, final concept for your brand. Okay. Like for example, you can see here. So be sure that the prompt is clearly describing the picture you see in your head. And also you have to mention the format in which you want the color palette, the artistic style. For example, here I have created artistic painting style, graphic styles. So pay attention to every small bit elements of the picture which you want to generate. So you can use DALI-E, stable diffusion. There are a lot of things I will just show you. Yes. So you can use these tools for text to image generation for marketing purpose. DALI-E, E2 is the latest version. Initially DALI-E was free, but now they are charging for it. There are certain credits you have to earn on it. You can log in freely in using a Microsoft Hotmail account. Then stable diffusion is also there. Midjourney is also very good. Then Canva is also. Maybe most of your family are with Canva. Canva now has a AI integrated tool into that. Then you have Adobe, which has a generative AI feature. Then also you have something called Tom, a startup company which uses a NLP and computer vision to create presentation and slides. So if you want to create a presentation and slide, and you have to go ahead and find the content, you have to design the slide, do so many things. So you can use Tom to do that or beautiful AI to do that. So this is how the DALI-E will look. You have to just go to the prompt and write a text describing the image, what you want, and click on generate, which I've shown you also in the last session. And once you do that, you get an image. So I'll show you some example of it. So let's say that there's a campaign for a hotel, a boutique hotel chain, and they want to showcase their customer services. And they are planning to open a very lavish and budget-friendly resort in Italy. Let's assume, I'm just assuming that. And they're looking for an inspiration for they want to show a decor and they want to work on the visualization of they want to show the visualization of affordable luxury to the people. That means the picture, the image should show the luxury. At the same time, it should not show that it is beyond your budget. It should show an affordable luxury because their target audience are middle income group. So one of the copywriter, if you approach, they will write a lot of screen, they will generate and trial error method. But you can just go to a copywriter and ask to have an idea about that, tell about what is there in the mind of a client, and then use text to image generator to lead the brainstorming session. So before you go for a brainstorming session, go for a text to image generator, develop a lot of vision, and then try out on the text generating image. So brainstorming can be done on this. I'll just show you one image which I tried to develop. You can see here, the luxury doesn't look too, expensive. And it looks like it is giving you a view which says that, okay, it is something which is affordable, at the same time it is very luxurious. So And also you have to find out, for example, let's say that I used a prompt where I have written that young couple or romantic couple, seated in a room in a two colorful chair with a geometric design. And between there is an antique wooden table. I have given a prompt like that. So I've given the first prompt where I said young and romantic couple seated in a room in two colorful chairs. Then I modified the design, writing that it has a geometric design. Then I modified again and wrote sample. There's a small antique wooden table between the two, and behind the table is arrangement of the flower, just behind, not in front because you can't see that. And only you can see the back of the people facing the window. And in front of the window, you have a sea. It's a sea facing resort. And a young couple. So this is how I have tried different prompt and came out with this image. So this is how the magic happens. In one go, you will not have it. So some of the images which I got it were really awful and I didn't like it. So so what happens? The marketing people also do this. Whatever they have in mind, they put in the prompt and they get. And then they keep on brainstorming and they keep on modifying the image till they get a kind of a blog post or a kind of a visual for their ads, which is very much something which is related to their brand and they want to use it. Okay. So you can create image for your ads, your blog post, your newsletters, your email, social media stories. But for that, you have to do this. Then the last thing which the marketers are using is how to use AI for generating videos. So before that, I have shown you that how do you use AI to generate a text content. Then how to generate the AI to use a image content, the visual appeal. And how to use AI to generate a video. Now in a traditional way, if you want to create an ad, what do? You want to go for a shooting. You need lights, camera, you need a video production team, which is very complex, which is very labor intensive. You need a script actor, you need a script, you need actors, you need directors, you need cinematography, you need audio, video editors, you need musicians, you need a good story. Okay. So entire this process, and it will take many days to come out with a perfect ad. But with the help of generative AI, there is only one step and you don't need so many people. You can prompt AI to create a script. Even they will write a script for you. And then you can revise on it. You can develop characters and their backstories. Use a text to generate image. Come up with some cool idea of the sets and decor. You can paste your script into video creation app like, I'll just give you some. All these things what you require. So you can use certain apps which are free of cost. Certain features are free. InVideo, LumenF. Upload the image. I use InVideo to generate the case study video for my students, and they love it because I don't have to tell them. I don't want them to read it because I know they will not read it. So video, I just write a script, use certain name, and just modify it. Lumen 5 is very good digital marketing tool. You can do a course on that. You can create an AI avatar. You can use synthesized voice. You don't have to use your own voice. There are a lot of prop-based video editing tools which are available. So generative AI even in Canva also you can do that, and you can integrate AI. AI is integrated with that. So you have to create an ad which will make your customer glued to the screen and not skip the ad. So for that you can use this. So generative AI is going beyond your writing of the script and traditional way of designing an ad. So what we now are using as an individual person or a customer or maybe the companies are using is just the tip of the AI iceberg. You have so many tools which can help you in optimizing your marketing work or activities. So when we are talking about so many tools, which is available now. I'm not talking about the future, I'm talking about the present scenario. So you have a lot of things which are already used. For example, the customer service chatbot, which will listen, which will nod, which will smile and solve the problem, respond to the question using a synthetic voice. So the marketer will be able to, code it using natural language processing prompt, no code AI tools, which I have already explained you. You can use Amazon Lex, AWS Lex to create a bot. Okay. In a simple few hours, you can create a bot. You can create a food bot, you can create a bank bot, anything. And it will do a human-like interaction. It can handle the request. It can take the order. So in the customer service, generative AI is being integrated into customer relationship management platforms like Salesforce, like your delivery apps, many ways. Okay. So generative AI will let you manage your project with a prompt, and it will also, so not only this, you can send a personalized email, you can you can create a project to complete a project management using that. You can reduce your budgeting, and you also will help you, it will also help you in understanding where you can place your ad, which are the best platform for you to do that. So major platform like Google and Metaverse, which is Facebook, are offering you AI ad optimization. Okay, and it is making it so easy to input your idea, audience, budget, and channel, and AI will create your ad for you. And it will also allow you to have a maximum return on your investment. Okay. So when we are talking about the AI, there are other integrated technology which are also used along with AI, like metaverse for immersing marketing. Today, the customer want to gain the experience. Today, we talk about experiential marketing. That means that the customer want to experience the product and service before they take a decision to buy that. So by using immersive technologies like augmented reality, and then the mixed reality, metaverse in full swing. So what part and how what role will generative AI play in the mixed reality, which is metaverse? Okay. So artificial intelligence will actually feature in many immersive apps today to ensure a digital asset appears and they are how they are supposed to appear. So generative AI is becoming a superhero tool now. Okay. And it is becoming a tool which will let you dream, create, modify, and bring visual scene to life before your eyes. For instance, what if you wanted to take your customer to a beach or a breathtaking view of a desert? Okay. Generative AI tool will let you describe your vision and create it instantly for you. It will enable you to fix and refine it by changing your prompt and insert your brand around the surroundings. For example, like this. Okay. All these I have generated using the AI prompt. So you can look at this image and you can see that how you can spot your brand logo into it. So you are the marketer. If you are the marketing lead for a museum or a tourist sports, you want to make it easier for the people who visit your attraction to find more information. And when they are standing in front of the painting or historical site, they can get the information about it. So one of this particular ad which I created for the olive oil, if you can see that this was created using just a kind of a thing. Then you can create a immersive experience where the person will require to wear a glass and get an immersive experience. Immersive experience means that like you can just check and you can be a part of it. That, for example, you're walking into this line. So how this is a 2-3 olive oil. Okay, this is a company, and they've grown their family business. This is a company which is using a family business to grow the olive oil in the farm, and from farm directly to your house they bring that olive oil. So they wanted to celebrate and give a immersive experience to their customers. And they wanted an ad where a person can virtually walk into their farm and see how the olive oils are generated and how they are being processed to bring that particular final product to them. They wanted to give that 3D experience and metaverse experience. So when a particular person want to buy, he want to have an immersive experience that whether I'm buying a olive oil is a olive oil which is naturally produced, it doesn't have any kind of ingredient. They can take a walk in that particular process. So that is an immersive experience. So now let me see the time. Okay. So let us see the GPT model first. Okay. And see that how these model work. You know, the model accept. So when we're talking about the model, how does it work? Like Azure has OpenAI, generative AI. So how to use them and how does this model work? I have already told you about this that the model or the NLP basically accept a number of tokens, and in returns they get one token out. Okay, so this would be easy if you understand what a token is and what are they. In this example, the sentence, I'll show you one example. The sentence is split into multiple words. You can see here, this is a sentence, this is a sentence. And so you can see there are a lot of characters are 312 and 68 tokens. That means those are words. These are all split into multiple words. Okay. And when a word is very common, it might be only one token. For example, let's say a word is. Maybe multiple time it is used somewhere. Or maybe the, or ARE. Those words are taken as one token. So common words are taken into as one token. Less common word will be split into multiple tokens that are used more often, and each token will be represented by a number. Okay. And okay. And this is going to make the calculation very easy. So if the a token is a word or a part of the word, but it is a little bit more complicated than this, because what I'm not showing you is that it actually return a probability list with all different tokens that could be the output token. So the algorithm then will choose which one fits the best based on the parameter that you can define. So you might say now this does not make any sense. Whatever ma'am is talking is not making any sense. So when I use a Bing chat, Bing also has its own chat, which is similar to ChatGPT. Similar to that, it has a similar capability, but ChatGPT has become more popular now. So, and both are owned by same company, Microsoft. For example, when I use Bing chat or ChatGPT, for example, it returns me a whole sentence and a paragraph. Suppose if I'm using that. So this is because the model work in a different way. The model execute the algorithm and add one token. One token means prediction. What will come next? Okay. And then it adds the generated token to the input and generate again and again. That's why when you go to ChatGPT, it's again regenerate. Regenerate means it is adding one token and generating the content. Adding the content to it. It means unique words to it. So language models are not new. They are working as how they used to work initially. So if you can see here, you can have a hidden Markov model in 1970, how language models started evolving. Then in 1990, they have also worked in token, in gram. And the issue was that this model looked at vast token to generate the first one. So you imagine, I'm not going to more focus on the token because that will become little wider, because when you learn NLP, that's the time when you learn about token, tokenization, subset, routing, stemming, and all these things. I'm not going to focus more technical things into it because it will not make sense in this particular session. Okay. So students, I have gone through the most of the thing. I'm just going to show you some images which I have done with a Bing image ad. Okay, so if you can go to the Bing image, okay, like at this I have done with DALI E. So you go to the DALI E and you can just write any of the thing to generate a picture. And I have generated this first picture which I'm showing you. Then the next picture is where I have changed the background little bit. If you can see here, I have made the flowers more prominent. I made the astronaut, look little farther away. Then the next I was not happy with this. The third one which I generated is a lot of flowers, and in front, and there's a back of the astronaut which is showing. So I have to show that the back of the astronauts, and then I could generate this one. And finally, this is also one of the model which I will show you. So I wrote in the prompt that I want to have an image of a resort or image of a house or a bungalow in the plantation. So it came like this. I didn't write what plantation. Then I specifically write that there should be a coffee plantation. So if you can see these coconut plantation is removed. Still there is a coconut tree, but it is removed. I wanted to refine because the picture of the bungalow was looking little old, and I said it's a modern style. It has changed that. The next picture also I have refined it little bit where I said that I wanted to show more of the plantation greenery part over there. Then I didn't like it because it was hiding the image of the bungalow. And then because this, I wanted to put it in the, suppose Airbnb ad, where I want the customers to, suppose, let's say this is Kurk or some place in a hill station. And I want to put up an image where they can attracted by the surrounding, by the environment. The environment is greenery. And I want to target those customers who are looking for greenery, who want to live or spend some time in the nature. So out of that, ultimately, I like the second one I chose. But this was also the redefining of this. See here, you can use in video. In video, you can write a script and it will generate a video. If you don't have a script, just write few sentences and write, and it can do that for you. So you can try this out, students, today. Go to in video. It is free of cost. You will have a watermark because you have not paid for it. So watermark will appear. You can write some thing like some script, whatever you wish, and it will generate the video within few seconds. Okay. Then you can go to the voice flow. These are some exercises which I am trying to give you so that you can help. It can help you. You can try voice flow, which is no code chatbot generator, and so you can give a prompt and you can generate a chatbot using this particular thing. So you don't have to write a code to generate a powerful chatbot with a custom UI. You can just build it with this voice flow app. Okay. So I'm going to stop it here. So is there any questions, students? There's a lot of people who have left already. You can write in the chat box, I'm sorry, if you want any particular session to be taken in the, I'm going to take the session on Friday. So you want a particular session, you can write in the chat box that, ma'am, if you can take a session on this, maybe I can prepare on that. Or if you want me to take a session on cybersecurity, I'll be happy to do that. Or AI and cybersecurity. So most probably we will do AI and cybersecurity in the next session. So if you would like to go for it, you can just mention that, or otherwise you can just suggest me something and I can try to research on certain content, try to talk to some of my friends in the industry, try to find out a new application which is very unique in the nature, the way I've shown you today, one very unique case study. Okay, then we will end up the session over here. Okay. So we're ending the session over here. Bye. See you in the next session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.